Hey guys, today I bring you the last round of Torneio de Cucujães, and this was a very special game for me because it was not only the last game of the tournament, it was also the last game of 2022, and the result of the game would determine the elo that I would end the year with. And also, one important thing before we start, if I won this game, I was gonna be able to win my first prize money in chess from a tournament, which is absolutely exciting for me. And I was very hyped, but I wasn't expecting an easy game at all because my opponent, Paulo Moraes, is 1801. So, yeah, I was ready for a fight. I started with e4. I had the white pieces. I started with e4. My opponent goes c6. My favorite, the Caro-Kann. I think I've never played against the Caro-Kann before in a slow tournament, but I'm not sure. I went knight c3, and after d5 I went for the two knights variation with knight f3. And here my opponent goes d4, which is already a big mistake. This line with d4 is known to just be straight up bad for black, and I was actually very happy and shocked when he played d4 because this is easy from now on. I play knight e2, so attacking the pawn twice with my knights. Here my opponent goes c5, protecting the pawn on d4, and now I go c3. Very important move, trying to undermine black's center, which just looks fragile. Here my opponent played knight c6. Just want to point out that d3 looks natural here, attacking the knight. But after knight f4, here if he tries to play c4 to defend everything, you have queen a4 check, and no matter how he blocks the check, he's gonna lose the pawn on c4, and he's gonna lose the pawn on d3. So yeah, white is just completely winning out of the opening. Here probably his best chance would be to capture on c3, but after b takes c3, d4 is coming, and this is absolutely horrible opening for black. So my opponent goes knight c6, and here I just take on d4, very important. He takes back with the c pawn, and now I play queen a4. So yeah, putting more pressure on the d4 pawn. And here there's a couple things that my opponent can try. He played bishop d7, but let's say he played this move d3, which looks like okay, he's trying to somehow cause some problem with his pawn because like there's not really a good way to defend it. Here just a simple knight e d4, and yeah, I mean this is gonna fall. This knight on c6 is pinned, bishop d7 probably, but then bishop takes on d3, so this is just horrible. My opponent tries bishop d7, but it doesn't change anything. Also, you might be wondering why not e5, protecting the pawn. Actually, just knight takes on e5, and this knight is pinned, so yeah, that just loses a pawn. So yeah, my opponent goes for bishop d7. Here I capture with the knight. My opponent plays knight f6. I mean, if he tries to make a discovered attack here on my queen, I can just take the knight, no problems. Just a solid pawn up. And here he just played knight f6. I captured the knight on c6, captured back with the bishop. I played bishop b5. Yeah, I mean, he has to somehow protect the bishop or capture here. And he tries queen d7. I capture on c6. He captures with the queen. And I just trade queens, and we reach this middle game where I'm just up a pawn and better. There's nothing much to be said. I just played d3, and yeah, show me what you got for the loss of a pawn early on. Yeah, I was very confident in my chances here. Here he played e6, played bishop g5, bishop b4 check. Actually, I was very happy to see this because now I play king e2 and my rooks are connected and I'm ready to go. Here he plays knight d7, I play rook ac1, c5, and bishop e3. And here, you know, the engine already says that I'm plus 3 almost. And yeah, I knew in the game that I was completely winning, but it's still a game. I'm only up a pawn, and yeah, I still have to show some technique to convert and to carry on playing well. So yeah, I was focused still, had a lot of time on the clock because I already knew how to punish d4 in the opening, and he was also blitzing most of the moves. So you know, I was very confident. It just felt like he didn't really want to be there playing the game, which definitely is not good if you're playing in a chess tournament. Rook b8, I play rook c2, and after castles, rook hc1, putting pressure on c5, and he goes knight f6, which, yeah, it's very weird because after a3 here and bishop a5, I can just take the pawn, and I'm doing very well. Now I'm up 2 pawns, and my pieces are perfectly placed. My king is active. There's literally nothing to be worried about in this position for white. Here my opponent plays rook fd8. I play b4, bishop b6. Here I play bishop e7. Thought that it was kind of nice, giving a fork to the rook and to the knight. But after rook e8, I didn't like. I thought about taking the knight, but I didn't like the fact that we would have this middle game with bishop against knight. I thought that this bishop was very well placed to kind of dominate the knight. And yeah, this knight doesn't really look that good after the trade. And yeah, I decided to keep bishops on the board, which I think it's a good practical decision. I play bishop c5. If we trade the bishops and we only have knights, I'm perfectly fine with that. Here he plays knight h5, trying to create some counterplay. I just decided to keep it simple, play g3, stop the knight from giving checks on f4. He went back to f6, I took the bishop, and I infiltrated with my rook on the 7th. And he played rook a8, rook c3, h6, h3, g5, really just trying to create something. I play g4, not allowing any type of counterplay. Goes king g7, and here, but yeah, here after knight e5, I mean, I'm attacking the pawn on f7. It's really hard for him to do anything. He has to defend the pawn. And after just rook b7, yeah, this was pretty much already a winning position that I was like sure that I was gonna win. There's no way I'm gonna f this up, so I'm gonna just fast forward the game now because it's not that interesting. Yeah, I just push my pawns, and you know, he plays until mate, and yeah, I just won the game. And to be completely honest, it was one of the easiest games that I've ever played, and it's crazy because my opponent was way higher rated than me. But yeah, I didn't even have to really think that much. It was just straight up like easy. And yeah, I was very shocked by my opponent's play in this game, and I was very happy because I managed to win my last game. This tournament was completely amazing. I only lost one game to that national master, and then all the other games were either draws or wins. I ended up in 7th place, and I got myself a check of 45 euros, my first prize money, which, yeah, just got me very excited. And yeah, I ended up the year with the elo 1630. So very happy. My goal was to actually end the year above 1600, and I did that, and I still got even 30 points to add up. And yeah, my goals for 2023 in terms of elo, I want to end the year with 1800 plus, which, yeah, it's gonna be hard to say the least, but I'm really working hard on my chess, and I really want to go to as many tournaments as I can in order to accomplish that. This was the video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.